Hello, everyone, I'm Meng Meng, the teacher of flight attendant skills and management.
I'm Liu Ji.
And today we'll learn safety inspection during the in-flight execution stage.
There are many regulations for taking airplanes that are different from trains and cars. Apart from the well-known requirement to fasten seatbelts, other precautions are not very clear to everyone. So what's the reason?
The security requirements on airplanes are basically universal around the world. Most aviation regulations can be said to have been earned through real-life cases with lives and blood. The regulations that passengers may not quite understand all have a thought-provoking story behind it.
So, as students majoring in flight attendance, we can not only understand the requirements without knowing where it comes from. So let's learn it together. Safety is an eternal theme in civil aviation, the foundation for the development and growth of civil aviation enterprises. Therefore, for students majoring in flight attendance, it is one of the essential abilities for future civil aviation work to firmly establish safety awareness and have emergency response capabilities.
We need to deeply understand, comprehend the development concept that puts safety first, and truly set up a strong sense of safety and prevention in our minds.
Throughout this class, we need to get the following 3 objectives.
Once on a flight, due to turbulence, the flight attendant stopped cabin service and was already seated. Suddenly, a noise was heard in the cabin. The flight attendant hurried over and found that a male passenger sitting next to the aisle was moaning, holding his head. It turned out that a small piece of luggage had fallen that hadn't been fully secured, hitting the passenger's head. This was due to negligence in safety inspection.
Yes, from this case, we can understand that cabin safety is the most valuable service provided by airlines to passengers, and the primary responsibility of flight attendants. It is an essential component of ensuring the safety of flight operations. Safety inspections are an indispensable part of ensuring cabin safety.
Cabin safety inspections include the cabin, galley, and lavatories. Through safety checks before takeoff and landing, flight attendants can ensure that every passenger on the plane can evacuate quickly in an emergency, ensuring the safety of the flight. The strict implementation of these safety inspections can improve the safety of air travel and give passengers greater peace of mind to enjoy their journey.
Let's understand the general principles of safety inspections. Flight attendants need to conduct 2 safety checks before takeoff and before descent. The pre-takeoff safety check is conducted immediately after the manual safety demonstration. The pre-descent safety check is conducted 40 minutes before landing when the descent announcement is made. Additionally, during the flight attendants need to continuously monitor the cabin dynamics and conduct cabin safety checks as needed. During safety inspections, flight attendants should maintain graceful and elegant manners and are prohibited from commanding passengers. The safety inspection procedure must be completed independently and should not be mixed with other work. After the flight attendants complete the safety inspection of the cabin, galley, and lavatories, they should promptly return to the cabin crew seat timely.
When conducting cabin safety inspections, follow the principle from the L side to the R side of the aircraft, from top to bottom. Conduct inspections in sequence, without omission, and ensure that each overhead bin is closed.
Seat adjustment. Flight attendants need to remind passengers To adjust their seat backs to the upright position, stow footrests, lower seat armrests, and ensure that all tray tables are completely stowed. These are to facilitate the immediate evacuation of passengers in the rear in case of an emergency.
Seatbelt check. Flight attendants need to remind all passengers to fasten their seatbelts and to keep their seatbelts fastened throughout the flight. It is particularly important to remind that children must also fasten their seatbelts. Infants must be held by adults or fastened with an infant seatbelt, and unoccupied seats must also have their seatbelts fastened.
Shade check. Civil aviation attendants need to instruct passengers to open all shades to ensure that the situation outside the aircraft can be observed in an emergency, assisting passengers in evacuating quickly. Most forced landings may be accompanied by fires, and the rescue time is extremely short, also facing dangers such as explosions. It is necessary to immediately understand if there are any survivors in the cabin. Closing the shades is equivalent to closing passengers' lives. Additionally, there is a special case when we take off and land at a military civilian airport. We need to close all shades.
Confirm that small portable electronic devices, such as mobile phones, have been switched to flight mode or turned off wireless internet functions. It is also important to note that power banks cannot be checked in and can only be carried in carry-on luggage. They are prohibited from use on the aircraft. The reason is that the stability of lithium batteries is relatively poor. External impact or temperature changes can exacerbate heat dissipation, leading to fires and explosions.
Confirm that there are no items piled up near emergency exits, aisles, and cabin doors, which is to facilitate unobstructed exits. In case of emergency evacuation,
ensure that coat closets, storage compartments, and other storage spaces are locked. Flight attendants need to check that the overhead bins containing emergency equipment have no other luggage items, and that emergency equipment is in place. Let's take a look at how flight attendants communicate with passengers during cabin safety inspections. Excuse me, sir. Please fully open the shade.
Why open it? The sun is so big outside, it's very sunny.
Sir, this is in order to you can observe the outside of the cabin at the first moment after takeoff and better adapt to the light outside. In case of an emergency, please fully open the shade.
Okay.
Excuse me. The plane is about to take off. Your small bag needs to be placed in the overhead compartment or under the seat. Is that okay?
But I have valuables in here.
I can help you put it under the seat. Is that okay?
All right, then help me put it there.
I've put it in place for you.
Excuse me, sir. Our plane is about to take off. Please turn off your phone, okay?
Okay. Hey, honey, I'm flying over right now. I'll be there soon.
Excuse me, sir. Our plane is about to take off. Please switch your phone to flight mode or turn it off, okay?
Okay. I'll turn it off now.
Excuse me. I'm sorry to disturb your rest. Our plane is about to take off. Let me adjust your seat back to the upright position. Why? I feel very comfortable this way. Sorry. Takeoff and landing are critical phases. Adjusting the seat back to the upright position can protect your back. In case of an emergency, you can adjust it to a comfortable position after takeoff. I see. All right then. Thank you for your cooperation.
Aligning with the National 1+X flight attendant skill level standards, in addition to mastering the safety inspection of the cabin, it also includes the safety inspection of the onboard galley, lavatories, and the chief flight attendant's re-inspection. Let's learn about the requirements one by one. When conducting a galley safety inspection, follow the principle from the L side to the R side of the plane, from top to bottom, inspecting in sequence to avoid omissions. The chief flight attendant re-inspects the galley equipment. Turn off the galley power and ensure there are no loose items on the galley counter. Close the storage compartment doors, lock all the cabinet doors and latches in the galley, confirm the meal cart door is locked, and step on the brake. Confirm all the door curtains are open and secured. Ensure no one is using the lavatory, close the toilet lid, secure loose items on the sink, and close the lavatory door. Dim the cabin and galley lights. Overhead lights of cabin set to dim position, night lights set to night position, window lights turned off to off position, all lights in the service area turned off, retain work lights, galley lights turn on the work light above the sink, and turn off the rest of the galley lights.
The last step in the cabin safety inspection process is the chief flight attendant's re-inspection, due to the possibility of omissions by flight attendants after the flight attendants have completed the safety inspection. If passengers continue to use electronic devices or unfasten their seatbelts, the chief needs a comprehensive re-inspection of the entire cabin, starting from the front. Principles of safety inspection re-inspection. 1. Whether all overhead bins are closed and locked. 2. Whether passenger seatbacks are adjusted straight. 3. Whether passenger seatbelts are fastened tightly. 4. Whether any passengers are using electronic devices improperly. 5. Whether there is luggage placed at emergency exits. 6. Whether the lavatory is unoccupied and locked. 7. Whether the storage cabinet latches are secured, and there are no idle items in the galley. 8. After the chief flight attendant's re-inspection is complete, the TV screens, video playback, and passenger entertainment systems should be turned off, and the cabin lights should be dimmed. Return to the flight attendant's seat and prepare for takeoff.
Now let's see how the crew conduct the safety inspections.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lavatories on board will be closed soon. Please return to your seats, fasten your seatbelts, stow your electronic devices, adjust your seat backs to the upright position, and turn off your mobile phones or set them to flight mode.
The power supply has been turned off. Storage compartments are closed. Latches are secured. Lock the lavatory. Backstage safety inspection is complete. Okay, everyone can be seated now. Our plane is about to take off. Okay. Turn off the power supply. Close the oven. Secure the lavatory. Safety inspection is done. Let's take the seats.
Let's review together. The 2 time periods for flight attendants to conduct safety checks are before takeoff and 40 minutes before landing.
The scope of safety inspection includes 3 points:
cabin, galley, and lavatories.
The chief flight attendant also needs to conduct a re-inspection, which is a safety procedure for takeoff and landing, and one of the most important procedures to ensure our flight safety.
Yes, the civil aviation industry, as a service provider for the general public's travel needs, carries the important economic and social strength of promoting international exchanges. Therefore, ensuring safety is always the primary subject of civil aviation work.
After class, students please practice the cabin safety inspections in groups. Be sure to use a careful, serious, and rigorous work attitude to complete every project.
Establish a sense of responsibility and be willing to take charge.
Today, class ends here. We will learn something else in the next class. I'm Meng Meng.
I'm Liu Ji.
See you next time.